So my dubia.com PVC enclosure arrived today. So I'm slowly trying to block out how I want things to be. This is the background that nothing's attached. I have this huge roll of cocoa core mat that you use for like planting and stuff. That's going to be the background. I'm going to add some faux plants and some branches, and I'm really trying to add this branch in. I don't know how I'm going to do it. It has to be angled just the right way, and it's not made for that angle. But yeah, so this is just a dry fitting of trying to figure out how it's gonna go. Honestly, I didn't realize 2 foot is not as high as I was thinking. I guess when I was imagining, I was thinking 3 foot, and this is not a 4x3, it's a 4x2. So we're getting there. I also realized I need a caulk gun because I got this stuff to attach things, and thought I had a caulk gun for it, and now I realize I don't. And I found some foam that I might make into ledges, possibly. We will see. I don't want to completely fill the background. But yeah, it's all a work in progress. I actually had this huge maple branch and was going to attach that. But now I'm realizing it's kind of too big. So I won't probably use it in this enclosure. We will see. I might cut it up into smaller pieces for other decor ideas. And I will have a 4x2 for my boa eventually. So maybe it will go in that. So we'll see. But yeah, that's my first little update. This whole video, obviously, you're watching it. It's going to all be together. Yeah. I did not film the actual process of using this Gorilla Glue heavy-duty construction adhesive, mainly because I really messed up on how to open it. But I took off the protective cover that comes on these panels, and I just gooped it all over the back and covered where this coconut husk or core, whatever it is, mat is going to be sitting. Now, I also did something really smart. I'm really proud of myself. You can't see it right now, but underneath this guy is actually a pocket where I did not silicone because, where's my notebook? I took a measurement, so proud of myself, of a gap to leave so that with this really cool light up branch that I made, the battery pack needs a place to hide. So I will be tucking it back behind this coconut core, and it is waterproof, like water approved. It's going to be fine in a humid environment. And then I'm just going to camouflage the area with some faux plants. So I'll be able to take this in and out to replace the batteries. And I'm really proud of myself for that little bit of quick thinking on myself. I'm using this huge log right now just to weigh it down while it cures. I'll probably flip it around halfway through to give this weight over to this side. And this is just a chunk I cut off that's just sitting around to help me weigh it down. So that's attaching the coconut husk background. All right, so the silicone that has adhered this is cured. And I have tested out my little pouch. It's hiding the packet of batteries for these lights. And I have camouflaged the hole a little bit with some fake succulents. Faux succulents. I'm not 100% sure that's what I want to put there, but that's the general idea. And somebody is being a little bit nosy. I don't know if he thinks he's going to be fed, but he just ate 2 days ago, so he's not due to be fed. But he sees me walking around and doing stuff. He's like, "Food time? Yeah? No, sir. I'm making your new home. So, yeah. Thanks." Yes, it is a work in progress. It's going to take me a couple weeks to really finish this. I tested out, let me go actually show you what I tested out. I'm not going to test it on video now, but this log is going to be like the fountain. So this is the tubing and the pump that will be hidden behind the log, and it will run down this surface all the way down these mosses into a container bowl at the bottom. I'm super excited for that. I actually just ran out to the dollar store to buy a bowl for that, and it will go someplace on the background. And I'm very excited. So it's coming together slowly yet surely. And Eli is super, super excited. Oh my goodness, he's so cute. All right, I have mixed up some cement, concrete, cement, whatever, to hold this waterfall log in place. I'm gonna have to redo this tubing on the top because it's giving me trouble. But I'm hoping, I've never worked with concrete before, and sorry. I've never seen anyone do this before. I couldn't find anything on YouTube, which is why I'm filming it. I'm using the plastic basin just to support it now while it cures. It's supposed to be fast setting concrete, so we'll see. It is QuickCrete. I have sealed up the hole that I'm using. I've sealed it with a plastic bag for now. What I did, I used a Ziploc baggie, put in some of the QuickCrete and some water and mixed it to the consistency I wanted to work with and piped it out like icing. Because I'm really trying to be as mess-free, stress-free as possible. So there's that. Sorry for the quick camera work here. I was attempting to hot glue. Actually, first I tried siliconing this in place, and then I tried hot gluing, and as you can see, it came off. So I think what I'm going to have to do is, when this can be vertical, right now it's horizontal, when it can be vertical, I'm going to try cementing it in place. I think that's what I'm going to have to end up doing, unfortunately. But for now, it's like dry fitted, and I am hoping that the QuickCrete works. I may have to add more later. We will see. We'll see how this works out. So yeah, that is your update, and continue watching to see how this turns out. I have allowed the cement to cure, the QuickCrete. Wow, I struggle saying that. It is the morning. I did this in two parts, really. This was held up, secured by the basin, and now it can sit on its own. And I had to reinforce some of the concrete underneath because there's too much of a gap and it wasn't strong enough to hold it. But I'm very excited. In the next couple days, I'm going to be using concrete to secure this hose down and camouflage it with some faux plants on top. So it's getting there. Also, a word of advice, if you're using silicone especially, and with QuickCrete, please wear a respirator, please. I just wore a little face mask that I had it laying around, and I have a really horrible cough now and horrible sinus pressure. It's not worth it. Just wear a respirator, please, or very appropriate protection gear, please. And it continues. So I have this waterfall feature cemented in place. It's sturdy. Nothing's holding it up, so it's holding itself. And then I made a little hole in my mat here because the side of the enclosure is going to have a place for cords. So I just made a little hole for that to go through and be hidden. And then this little money pot and vase are holding up this branch I'm working on. So I am supporting it and encasing it with cement. I hope it's gonna hold it. We will see. It's kind of an experiment at this point. But this side, let me go over there. Duh. All right, so on this side, you can see it better. There's actually a part of this branch that's like a thumb coming off of it. And so I totally encased that in cement. So that is curing at the moment. And then this tubing, I used some nails and I put one right there at the beginning of it, like the opening, and then just holding the sides where I want them by putting a nail next to it, not through it. So I'm hoping that's gonna work. I'll probably camouflage it with some more cement and possibly some faux plants, I'm thinking. Speaking of cement though, this little project. So I got this bowl at the dollar store. It's a square bowl, and it's deep enough that I'll be able to fill it with water and have my pump in there for the waterfall. But it was really lightweight, and I didn't like that. So I have covered the top, or not the bottom, with some cement to help weight it down. It's still curing. It's not quite done yet. Still setting. But yeah, it's worked really well to be using Ziploc baggies actually as like a piping bag, and not having to mess up a whole bunch of other things mixing this cement. So, and I've been wearing a mask, which has been helping with the dust, because you should not be breathing that stuff in at all. Do not breathe it in. So that is our update. It's coming together. Once the branch cures, the mushroom branch, then I will be able to not knock things over, to stand it upright and see if it's actually going to hold. And then I can actually build it all together, fill in the seams, waterproof it, and actually get this up and running for Eli to enjoy. So, yeah, this is taking me a long time just because of my own process, but also this is something I haven't tried before, and a trial and error and all sorts of things. So, all right, so this lid drove me crazy. Okay, here's the background. Enjoy. The lid, I had to use a power screwdriver because these are so tiny, and the lid was so cantankerous that you could not use a hand screwdriver on that. Definitely something that I wish that they would include as far as information. I sealed up those seams there to keep it waterproofed. But yes, the lid was extremely frustrating to put those support beams in. That was probably, yeah, anyway. All right, so progress has been made. First of all the plants you see are attached. Except for, of course, the box there in the middle, the box slot. But I have hot glued. It's not fancy, but it's done. Some faux string of pearls that are going to be cascading down. And the log here, the fountain or waterfall, as we should probably be calling it, I am slowly adding plants all over the top to disguise the tube. So there is a bit of the tube there that I think I want access to if I need it. But everything else is disguising it. That guy's waiting in the background there. Oh, look, Eli's out. Let's go say hi. Hi, Eli. Are you watching the goings on? Yeah. Good boy. All right, so I just wanted to kind of be filming, maybe not the entire process of what I've been doing, but at least telling you what I've been doing. So, excuse my voice, it's still messed up for not using the respirator earlier. It's been a few days now, so definitely wear a respirator, please. Yeah, this is it so far horizontally. It's going to be vertical, so it's all going to go that way. But what I also did, I got this insulation foam that you wrap around heating elements to, one, put across the screen lid, so not use as much HVAC tape, and also it should do a better job of insulating, as well as adding some to the inside of the side panels. I cut a little spot there for the cord outlets. Those little, I don't know what those are called. I just call them cord outlets. I think that's what it is. And some of it might show, so, because like most of it along the top, like along, let's see, right about here, should be covered all the way to the top with the background, the excess background. I'll show you over here. Sorry, I'm bopping around. So this cocoa core should hide, the first 16 inches. It may not cover all of the silver down to the very bottom, but I'm not too concerned about that, honestly. I think substrate will probably cover that up, so that'll be fine. And then the cord outlets for the waterfall and the probe will all go through these outlet recesses, I guess we can call them. So it's coming along. I siliconed the insulation to these. Once they set, I will be siliconing. Well, I probably need a second person to help me put this into the background slot of that enclosure. And then once that's in there, I can put the side slots in and then silicone the cocoa core. Kind of a not last step, but a later step, as opposed to earlier step where this was silicone very early on. So far, that's what we've got going on. This has been a whole week's project. I probably got another week left, depending on if I can get someone to help me. So, it's getting there. I'm super excited for what it's going to look like when it's done. Oh my word. Thank you. I discovered I could lift the background by myself. So, I have the back and sides in, how they're supposed to be, the panels. Now, I am figuring out, so I got the cord through. There's those cord ports on the side. Those guys. I have a binder clip just holding this right now. But what I'm going to do is silicone the edges, top, bottom, and the front edge, or this guy, down. Same with this side. And this side has excess. So what I'm actually going to do is kind of bow it a little bit and silicone so that it has like more dimension, and attach some plants to that. So it almost looks like a, I don't know, tree trunk or something. I'm so excited. I can't wait to test out the water feature. It is more vertical than I thought it was going to be. So the hose, for instance, it's right here. So depending on how fast the water flow is, it may trickle down this way, bloop, or it might go bloop. So we'll see. I gotta test that out. And the water dish is actually lower than what I planned, only because there will be substrate. So substrate will lift this up an inch or two, and then it'll be perfect. I am so excited. Oh my goodness, it is so good. I need to go eat lunch though. Ah! The fountain works. The waterfall. I had it turned up a little higher, and it was kind of spouting off the side. So I had to turn down the input. But it's gorgeous. I'm going to add some rocks to the bottom of the water dish. I'm just propping up with styrofoam right now until I get the, I have words. Let me find them. Substrate into there to lift up the water dish. There it is. Let me bring these down here. That goes over in the corner. There we go. That's how it's going to look. That makes me so happy. I built this. I built this all by myself. And the branch or stump, whatever you want to call this, it is maple that I salvaged from a tree that had fallen during a storm here. And it does have live moss on it that this water will now keep alive. So that's really exciting. It's a living bit. Most of his plants, as you can see, are very fake. And the concrete is holding everything in place. That was the one thing I was the most worried about. This entire branch, everything is holding in place. So, let me just get these where I want them so you can see how it's going to look. There we go. Perfect. Oh, I'm so excited. This has been a dream of mine for the last year. So yes, I am super psyched about this. And we just got to attach these sides and then finish putting in a few other little things and we're done. We're almost there. We're almost there. The sides are finished being attached and I have some faux plants going on. I'm actually in my armchair right now getting some much needed rest, a little breather. And I added some extra plants to the waterfall to help camouflage it better. We're getting there. It's slowly coming together. This has been a very long process. This video is not long, of course, but the process has been intense. All right. Now, as you can see, the lid is on. I used HVAC tape, excuse me, and insulation for wrapping around like water heaters and things. That should keep the heat in better and be safe with the heating element. I left a spot at the top for the heating element and a groove on either side for LED lights to be put in through the top. And it's looking really good. It's coming together. I'm cycling this water. I'm gonna basically I'm trying to soak out some of the tannins of the log, and then I'll dump this water and put fresh water in. So that will not be his end result water. But we're getting close to putting substrate in and putting the doors on and all that good stuff. So I'm putting in his official hides and everything. He has no idea what's coming. I'm so excited. Oh my goodness. This has been a process. Also, I will say, putting the lid on with a corner back there that's not accessible, that was really, 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 really frustrating. Even with the step stool, it was hard for me to reach that back corner. So, if you're putting together a, enclosure from Dubia.com, then Dubia Roaches, Dubia.com, maybe make sure you can access all of the corners where you're building it or putting it together or whatever. Yep. Oh, I'm so close to being done. It's almost there. Okay. The doors are on. The top is on. The bridge is fixed up. There's no lights right now, so that's why it's hard to see everything going on in here, and there's a lot of glare because the doors are on. Let me tell you, I just had the fight of my life. Well, that's probably exaggerating, but the lid, okay, the top. I made one mistake putting this together. I put the lid on backwards. So the door is supposed to have 2 slots for these each pane to go in. There's 2 tracks down at the bottom here in the front, and there's supposed to be 2 tracks up at the top as well. I had it on backwards. There was only 1 track at the top, and you can't put the doors on when it's like that. So, if you're putting together a dubia enclosure, make sure you've got the double tracks in the front. Now I know. So when I make another one of these for Keela, or when he's big, I will not make that mistake. All right, I put the substrate in because I wanted to lift the water dish, and I'm not moments away, but close to putting Eli in here. I might do it tonight. It'll probably be tomorrow, to be honest. I just have worn myself out. So, next section, here we go. All right, I finished it. Eli has moved in. He's got his heat lamp. He's got his lights, substrate, hides. Yeah, I'm not walking over there to show you the rest of it right at this second because my ankle is very, very angry. But look how empty the other one is. I got to rip off the top finally. It's over there in the garbage heap. It was really just a temporary top. That was pretty terrible, honestly. It cut my hand up every time I tried to open it. It was hard to just enjoy being with Eli. And now we have sliding front doors. So much easier to access him. Oh my goodness. I love the way that bridge turned out. That's perfect. Yeah. So I will take a better look here in a second for you. Eli's 4x2x2 by Dubia.com is finally finished. I made that bridge for him. I have all the foliage, and I made, actually, so I can open this up. Let's give you a little tour. So that branch actually lights up. Oh, I should turn it on. Hang on. So here's that beautiful branch all lit up. And my filming cut me out earlier, so I'm not sure when it stopped filming. And here's it with the plexiglass in the front. So there's a lot of glare and stuff going on, but if you open it up, you can see it better. It's so enchanting. So beautiful. So, and those lights have all sorts of different patterns. This one's my favorite. It's the number 4 button out of 8 patterns. And there's that waterfall at night. So pretty. The light that's coming in here is actually from my fish tank, which is behind us here. And that's off during like nighttime. So he does get actually 100% darkness for sleeping. Or I guess he would be out being active. Yeah, that's Eli's 4x2x2. Thank you for watching this video. I know it was a whirlwind. I know it was kind of crazy to get through. But there it is. Absolutely gorgeous. I love it so much.